Now that the Shanghai Major is officially finished and we've got a lot more data to talk about, it's going to be a very interesting ride to see what happens, but there's one area that's been absolutely crashing because of this, and that's going to be the other stickers. Now if we want to talk about a little bit more risky stickers like Paris and Copenhagen, obviously it's not too unexpected to see some pretty massive price dips, but those actually aren't the ones I'm talking about. Instead, I'm talking about a little bit more developed stickers, talking about your Antwerp and your Stockholm. Now obviously these are both borderless stickers, and therefore they are a little bit more volatile to what's going to happen inside this area, but the fact that they're down nearly 30% is absolutely insane. We're talking about Antwerp approaching the same price that you could buy a Copenhagen or a Shanghai sticker at after the sale. It's absolutely crazy, and the fact that they're starting to approach this low of a level shows us exactly where the sticker market is sitting right now. People aren't really worried about fundamentals, rather they're worried about hype, and that's a very good testament to what we're seeing overall inside of the market right now, because there's a lot of great investments that really haven't been seeing too much development in the recent days. SkinSwap just went ahead and dropped their biggest update ever. Not only are they sponsoring you with that top link in the description, but they're also introducing backpacks, allowing you to buy any item on the site and it's going to be personally held for you. Their trading feature is often told to be the best in the business, offering near instant trades taking under 30 seconds right now. And their selling feature is instant as well, offering PayPal, crypto, and tons of different options if you're looking to get your money this second. And finally, they've always got that 40% deposit bonus if you're looking to pick up some brand new skins, so try them out today. There's no reason not to. Now talking about everything Shanghai, we've got a lot of information I want to go over. First up, we've got the CSROI data listings of all of these, and we can see exactly what we expected to see honestly inside this area, with the fact being that most of these aren't really sitting very great unboxing ROI wise. Obviously we're sitting quite low if we want to look at the price points on a lot of these. Biggest one I want to point out is obviously going to be that Legends autograph capsule, now that it holds the Donk Gold, which was about $2,000, now it's about $1,000, and obviously it's dropping relatively quickly now that the major is officially over, but that's going to be the highest ROI you're going to be getting out of anything. When that sale rolls around, if you're looking to go ahead and unbox a capsule, this one is definitely going to be the most valuable as of right now. Contenders is in second place. This is one that's got a lot of interesting things going on inside of it, because it's got nearly all of the brand new teams for this, with Rare Atom, FlyQuest, Wildcard, and Cloud9, which obviously isn't a brand new team, but it's a good looking logo, and there's a lot of great things inside this capsule. I would definitely say when the sale rolls around, if I'm going to be unboxing a regular sticker capsule, I'm going to be going for this one, because I think a lot of these holos are going to have a little bit of momentum going for them at that time, just because they do look good in the crafting wise ability. Now talking about when the sale is going to be, I first want to go to this piece of information right here. It's very crucial. If you want to head on over to this, we can see the most popular sticker holo from every single capsule and how many they've been sold. If you want to look at it, Shanghai is the lowest by a significant margin. It's 1/12 of what we saw for Paris. It's only about 60% of what we saw for Rio. It's a crazy low number, but we got to remember that things have majorly changed for Shanghai. Shanghai is the first major where you have to wait a week before you can go ahead and sell off any of these items, reducing the amount of capsules people are opening before this significantly. But I do want to point out, obviously this is a very low number even with that included. The fact that it's only about 25% of what we saw for Copenhagen should be a very significant piece of information for you if you're trying to make an investment. Now it's actually going to be a little bit longer before we see the sale. That's because we've got the Champions capsule that needs to go ahead and be released. It might be released by the time you're watching this video. Biggest thing I want to point out, Champions capsules have always been terrible investments, and they've always produced one of the worst ROIs inside the game. If you're going to open it, do it on day one and try and pull something from Donk, because that's going to be relatively valuable, but these are not good things to put your money into. Talking about that sale, it's probably going to be a couple weeks before we actually see it. If you want to go to Copenhagen, we can see that the major finished up on the 31st of March. We didn't actually see a sale until over 3 weeks later. That's a long time, and especially when we're talking about Shanghai here, they're definitely going to milk all the money they can, because we've got no content coming for the rest of the year in my personal opinion. We might see the change out of putting Overpass or getting rid of Vertigo, something like that, but we're not going to see anything real major. Valve is kind of coasting for the rest of the year, and therefore we're probably going to see that reflected in how they're going to be handling their updates and their sales. Now talking about the biggest way that you could make some potentially easy profits, going to be souvenir packages. Now you probably get a couple tokens depending on how far you made it into the Shanghai Major, along with the fact that you can buy them for $3 a piece, and therefore when we look in the market, we can see obviously a lot of them are sitting around that $3 per piece price point. This is not too unexpected. The biggest thing I want to point out is that Dust 2 souvenir package. This is the first major that we've seen in a fair bit that Dust 2 return to, and therefore these packages are up a little bit right now. I don't necessarily know how long they're going to be sitting at this price. If you want to look at previous majors, they do fluctuate a very significant amount, but there is that potential that these could be the most valuable major package coming from this in the short term. Now talking about the long term, it's a very strong possibility that this is the last major we're going to be seeing Vertigo ads, and therefore that invests a very strong potential opportunity for investment. Now if you want to talk about why exactly, you can look at this right here. Vertigo was played only 3 times compared to Mirage's 20. That's absolutely insane, and the fact is people know Valve is definitely cooking up something based off their previous activity, and we've got a couple maps that are just sitting ready to go. We talk about Overpass, we talk about Train. I think there's a strong possibility that one of these two is going to be returning back to the game, and obviously reality, it's something that just commonly happens. Valve changes out the map pool every 1 to 2 majors, and it's about time. Overall, these come together with the possibility that Vertigo might be the next removed, and therefore that creates the possibility of Vertigo souvenir packages being extremely expensive. Now, do not redeem your souvenir packages just yet. You're going to be able to know while they're still in shop if Valve is going to remove a map, because that's a lot of money for Valve, and they're not going to miss out on that. I will say, definitely keep some of your souvenir tokens right now if you're not trying to make some of that quick money with the Dust 2 souvenir package. This is a strong possibility, and it's something that commonly happens, so don't overlook it. Now, talking about one thing that has caught my eye relatively recently is going to be filler skins. Filler skins have been on a pretty interesting tear. Now, obviously, they shot up quite high when we saw the Armory update, and that's not too big of a surprise, because obviously people were going to be doing more trade-ups, but the fact that they really haven't toned down is definitely a testament to where we're sitting at overall. People are still really interested in doing Armory trade-ups, but people aren't really interested in redeeming Armory stars. People don't want to grind out the pass anymore. They're still interested in those trade-ups and overall potentially betting on a brand new update coming to the game that's going to be bringing more content in the skins area. It's very interesting if we want to look at filler skins. They really haven't been doing too much in the past month, but they're up ever since we saw that Armory update, and they really haven't toned down since then, which is actually quite crazy. Now, going along with that, why we might get a brand new update, it really comes down to the case market itself. If we want to talk about the unboxing numbers, we are seeing the lowest month in the history of the CSGO case tracker continued. It's absolutely crazy the fact that we're only seeing 14 million in the past 28 days. If we want to look at the weekly, nothing is changing overall. This is a crazy low number, and the fact is, if we want to talk about rare cases, they're really not too effective when it comes to the price point of them, which is very nice. That's the one nice thing that it comes to rare cases. Obviously, they're not going up in price, but they're not going down, and right now that's something I will definitely take with how low these unboxing numbers are. With all that being said, I definitely feel like something has to change inside this area. Obviously, if we want to look at a little bit more expensive rare cases, they are slightly appreciating over a period like this, but this is still not enough. If we want to look at the previous unboxing numbers where we're seeing 40-50 million in a month, now we're seeing potentially 20 to 30% of that. That's absolutely crazy. Valve is definitely going to step in my personal opinion. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how much money the Armory is generating during a period like this, because that could be subsidizing this, and that could be Valve's overall intention. Now, talking about those active duty cases, if we want to look at the overall player count right now, it's a very solid number, and the fact is these active duty cases are still going up in supply, which is a really good thing when we're talking about an investing point of view. But when we're talking about overall what we've seen previously, this is once again an interruption to the status quo. It'll be interesting to see if Valve wants to step in because of this. And finally, talking about the Armory, it is once again a very interesting predicament. That's because the graphic and the overpass are still at the top, but they've definitely slipped a very significant amount. They're down to only about 140 and 135% respectively in terms of an unboxing ROI. Talking about the stickers, it's actually the 3rd and the 7th place. Character craft stickers have nosedived in the overall ROI they're bringing. Elemental craft, because it's mostly those blue stickers, which definitely have some investment potential in my personal opinion, they are still sitting up there with 130% unboxing ROI. And remember, the Deagle is starting to approach the point where it's going to get removed relatively soon, so keep an eye on that. And your charms are sitting at roughly where we expect them to be, 125%, and they're roughly in the middle. That's all I got. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.